Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome into our live. My name is Kristen McDougald, and I'm going to be on here for just a little bit, having a conversation, hopefully about inspiration, motivation. We're going to have a very special guest joining us today. Her name is Heather Jackson. I'm sure if you follow this account, you are well aware of Heather. If not, welcome in. She is a professional triathlete. She is a beloved member of the Herbalife Nutrition family, and if I can say it on here, she is a badass. So you're going to want to hang around with us today and chat with me and Heather. So without further ado, oh, I see her here. Which is longer, the microwave minutes or waiting for someone to get in your live? There she is. Hi, Heather.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Look at this beautiful backdrop you have behind you.
Oh, thank you. Yes, I'm here in Bend, Oregon. So we made it back
I was going to
to
start
Oregon.
this off by asking, you are all over the map, literally. So please give us the rundown of what you're doing in Bend and where you're at in this training regimen.
Yeah, so we got back to Bend, what is today? Monday. End of last week, we flew back from, I was out where I'm from, which is Exeter, New Hampshire. So I was back there for about 10 days for a race, but also just with my family. It was the first time I was able to get back to New Hampshire since before COVID started last January, I think. So we kind of made it a family trip, family race. My sister and brother raced their first half Ironman on last Sunday. So
How about that gene pool you guys have? That's unbelievable. How was it for them?
Yeah, that's all my parents. I credit my parents fully to all the athletic genes. I mean, my sister crushed it. She did amazing. My brother, he lives in New Hampshire, he did it on just barely any training. He's just like, yep, I'm doing it. Hopped right in. So pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Well, I teased everyone that this was going to be an inspirational, motivational talk. So if that doesn't get you to just take the plunge and go do something, I don't know what will. That's awesome to hear.
Totally, yeah.
You're Bend right now. You're back. Where are you at with your training schedule? What are you currently training for? What is the world of Heather Jackson look like right now?
Oh, funny you should ask. No, it's been a bit of a whirlwind of a couple weeks, I'd say. The plan was to use the half Ironman I raced last Sunday, which was Timberman 70.3. It was a chance to get back to New Hampshire and kind of, I guess, kick off what should have been my Kona preparation for the Ironman World Championships, which was meant to be on October 9th. So I was kind of using that as, just kind of a super hard effort, half the distance, kind of ripped the Band-Aid off. I had come off of 2 weeks break because I had just raced Ironman Lake Placid end of July. And that was actually my third Ironman this year. Not planned that way, just due to some different things that came up. I had an unfortunate flat tire in June at a different Ironman. And so I signed up for Ironman Lake Placid in July. So it's just been kind of an up and down season from what I had originally planned. And so after Lake Placid, I knew that I needed to just take kind of a mental and physical regroup, refresh in order to get ready for that Kona block, which is kind of the time of year I always focus on. I always am like, everything's pointed towards October. So I took 2 weeks, just easy recovery. My husband and I went camping. We went on a van trip. We visited the coast of Oregon, just kind of unplugged physically and mentally, and then got ready for Timberman last weekend. And then I was meant to fly straight to Tucson, which is where I do my Kona Prep. In the heat, the wind, it can be very similar to Kona conditions. And so while we were in New Hampshire last week, they postponed Kona, unfortunately. So
Just saw a few RIP Kona comments coming through, so we can take a moment for Kona RIP.
Okay. Yeah, so I had basically put everything towards Kona. That's the race I target. I've gotten top 5 there 4 times. I know that race. I know what it takes to get ready for it. So I've had a lot of questions come in to me personally on my feed as well about I chose not to participate in the Collins Cup this last weekend, which was a big triathlon, first event this year. And Part of it was being with my family in New Hampshire. My grandpa passed last year, so part of it was us getting back there to celebrate him. Part of it was not wanting to be abroad for 2 weeks right in the heat of my prep. So I had, basically committed fully to Kona, and now it's okay. Now what do we do to regroup, decide what makes the most sense this time of year now it's been postponed till February. So, which again is not usual for Kona. Like I'm used to kind of the peaks and valleys. Yeah, exactly, of October prep. And so now it's okay, how are we going to get ready for a February Kona as best we can? And what does that mean for right now for me? So
you talk about all of that, and just if anyone is able to pinpoint the map of everywhere that you've been and everything that you are training for. I know that even just you mentioning the last year, how much adversity you have been faced with, I think that can resonate with so many people in different areas of their life, that we've all been in a very tumultuous year in one regard or another. So with everything that's just come up for you personally in this year, or in your career as well, how do you feel like you've been able to develop some of those skills or tools to implement in your life to handle adversity when it is thrown your way?
Yeah, totally. I mean, it's definitely been a learning experience, as I'm sure it has been for everyone. And I think it's probably opened a lot of eyes, especially mine, of just like my years, at least the last 10 years, have literally been planned out. Like I know what my year looks like all the way through October, November time. And then November, December is usually my off season. But you can plan out years in advance or months in advance. And I think what COVID's done for me is just taught me more to just live in the moment, live in the day to day, and not plan too far ahead, and more just focus in on that, enjoying every moment, enjoying every day, and not looking too far ahead. I think it's important to set goals. I've certainly started setting shorter term goals to go after within the longer term, bigger picture, but having kind of these new different goals that can also just keep you fresh, keep you excited, keep you not kind of down that like, okay, October's been canceled already. Like it's kind of this bummer, this letdown, but okay, what can we get out of that in a different way? And that's just, setting different goals, new goals. But yeah, just
mindset is so important from what you're maybe typically used to, and being on such a regimented schedule, to kind of throw that at the window and be flexible to not only change your schedule, but also change your approach and your mindset on things. Is that fair?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, people can, whether it's sports and you're planning on an event and then that gets canceled, whether it's your work, but maybe like things get changed with your work, or it's a vacation. I mean, anything that right now I think is very up in the air with how life is going on right now. It's like, okay, I'm just trying to live, more in the day to day, be grateful for each day we have and make the most of each day and what I can do then. And then, okay, it's like each day take it like that, versus like planning all the way out right now of when things can change so quickly.
I know you have such a strong following. All this love is coming in on the comments here, so that's great to see. But if you're willing to share any of those short-term goals that you've set for yourself, I'm sure people would love to hear them.
Oh yeah, totally. I mean, it's literally been just 3 days we've been here, kind of been unpacking, trying to figure out where we want to be. Right now is usually when we go to Tucson, and so it's different being here in Bend. It's almost fall. It feels almost fall-like out, which is usually I'm in the heat, like 110 degrees plus, getting ready. So it's kind of cool. I don't know. I think we will still migrate down to Tucson in the next, I don't know, sometime in a couple weeks, mostly to prepare for Herbalife24 Tri. That's definitely on the calendar, of course.
Market, baby.
Yeah, October 24th. I'm actually super excited. So I guess for me, as someone who primarily focuses on the longer distance Ironman races, there were really only a couple left this year, and it was coming off of having been at 3, having completed 2.5 of them. I wasn't able to do the run in Coeur d'Alene, but I had no, I guess, real motivation to just jump right back into those long 9-hour days, especially when I know I need to get ready for February for that. And so for me, it's almost, I feel rejuvenated right now thinking about the prospect of a shorter distance race like Herbalife Tri, and then a couple of other halves that are left this year, as well as a couple gravel races I might throw in. Tentatively, there's a 70.3, a half Ironman in Memphis in, I think it's October, that I could use also in my prep for Herbalife Tri. But Herbalife Tri is actually going to be the focus for the next 8 weeks. Kind of get my speed up, focus on the shorter stuff, high intensity. And then the weekend after Herbalife is the Oceanside Half Ironman. So just a short drive down. If anyone's doing the LA and then Oceanside double. And then
lead people. She knows what she's doing.
see you at both. Just drive down the coast. We'll be in our van, so van life it down.
It strikes a chord with me just to hear you say, "Oh, I was so unmotivated recently." Like that just feels like it doesn't compute with, you know, who you are as a person in your career. So it's interesting just to hear that human side of you. I'm sure everyone feels that to a certain extent. But in your training right now, hopefully you've been able to pick it back up. What is your day-to-day look like, just in terms of any race or the particular race that you have coming up? Like, what are you doing physically at this point?
Yeah, I mean, my schedule's back to what it normally is. I have a pretty like standard week that it looks like day in and day out with training, which I'm happy to share. Mondays, like today, and Fridays are usually lighter, so just maybe a light jog, a swim. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays, I'll do a swim first thing, and then like tomorrow will be a key bike with a run off. Wednesday's a key run, and then Thursday's usually like a longer, just kind of base aerobic ride, and then the weekends are bigger with full run-throughs of swim, bike, run on Saturday, and then a long run usually on Sundays with a recovery swim after. So that's a typical week for me. What I just meant by I just wasn't motivated to get back to the like 9-hour days. I've literally been doing it since January because I prepped for Ironman Tulsa in May, Ironman Coeur d'Alene in June, and then Ironman Lake Placid in July. So it's been like 8 months of just these longer kind of slogging. It's a different style training versus I'm back to my typical day of training, but it's like shorter, high intensity, like 2 to 3 hour rides, but really high quality work, getting that speed back, not just being kind of this like slogging marathon pace. But I mean, I need to be ready for a 10K run on October 24th, not a marathon. So it's just a different style of training. So
well, that's interesting that you say that, because we did solicit some fan questions on our Instagram account here before we were going to have a live with you. And one of the questions that came in from a fan was, do you ever hit the snooze button in the morning?
Yes, I do, for sure. I actually am not. I feel lucky in the swim groups that I'm part of here in Bend, and then also in Tucson. I am lucky enough that those are here. They're usually between 6:30 a.m. and 7 a.m. And then in Tucson, they've been at 8:30. So I'm lucky in that sense, because I know a lot of swim groups out there are like 5 a.m. So I feel very grateful for that. But yes, I do.
So not as tempting at that hour, but you are guilty. She's still a human, people. So if anyone's watching who asked that, yes, she does hit the snooze button like the rest of us.
I do. Yeah. If I'm super tired and it makes more sense for that extra sleep over maybe going to what will be a horrible workout, then yeah, I'll do the workout later in the day.
This is where I'm going to come in and say, don't they say, listen to your body, get that extra sleep?
Yeah, exactly.
Here. Another question that a fan had was, what was your best event, your favorite, and why?
Best event, like
your
in
best
the
event, favorite event, and why?
Ooh, my favorite event. I mean, Kona has always been, a special place in my heart as an event. Just, I love it. It's indescribable. For I'd say the long distance. In 19, when I raced Herbalife Tri, and I'm not just like pushing it because this is Herbalife Tri, like it was so fun. The fact that you get to ride through downtown LA, you're running there, you're swimming in Venice, like it's super, super cool. I mean, that would make my list for sure of kind of my favorite ones out there. Wildflower Tri, those who have done Wildflower, that's also just, you can't beat that one. It's not around anymore, but it was just a full fun camping. You camp and then race. So those are three that come to mind just immediately.
Okay, one more fan question we had from you for you. Would you ever consider coaching athletes in the future?
Another topic that my husband and I have been talking about. So yes, that's my plan for sure. I want to get into coaching. I definitely am have already been like reaching out to some mentors of mine, some other athletes who were professionals and then have transitioned into that, and just chatting with them like what it took or to start that. Like I wouldn't even know where to start at this point, but it's something that I is certainly in my plans to start doing, and probably pretty soon actually. So
Yeah, that was my next. When can anyone look to hire you as their coach? When is this coming, Heather?
yeah, I mean, I think I'm using this time now, especially with kind of shorter, not having those, like I'm saying, super long days, and then more time on my hands right now to kind of get myself organized with something like that. My husband and I just launched a new, we already have a team kind of supporting us, a team behind us of age groupers, but we've just kind of rebranded it, rejuvenated it, got it going. So we have this new kind of global racing team that has been the backbone of our supporters for the last 10 years. And we're continue to be so grateful for their support, but using them to like, okay, learning, I guess, the craft of coaching. It's different than like, okay, I could just give someone what I do, but that's not necessarily going to work for everyone. So yeah, definitely going to need to put my time in to study that as, its own thing.
Well, that will certainly be a time I'm sure you're ready for your next challenge. And based on the comments that are coming in right now, I think you might have a full book soon. No, very excited about
the comments, but that's
Oh,
good.
shoot. Well, you're getting a lot of love in there, so you should feel great about it.
Okay.
But you mentioned the Herbalife24 Tri LA that we will see you in. I have also been tipped off that some of your family members might make an appearance in this one. So what scoop on this, and why is the event just so enjoyable for you? Why did you put it in your top three?
Yeah, it's so I think my sister is hooked after her first half. I'm on her to be at this one. I'm not sure if it fits into her calendar. She's TBD. Hopefully I can get her down to LA for the weekend. My parents are in for sure. So
Great.
yeah, they actually were in the sport before I was, which is super cool. And they've kind of added in a lot of other things to their daily routine right now. A lot of camping, hiking. They ski a lot in the winter, but this will be, I think, their first try back in maybe a year or two. So, but yeah, they're super excited. It'll just be so fun to have the whole family there. And that's part of why I just love the event as well. It's so fun. Like you have people coming to LA to do the triathlon. So family members supporting those who want to do the tri, who can also just hop into the 5K run. They can hop into the 22-mile bike, just like a fun bike through downtown LA. I mean, you never get the opportunity to do that. So I love the laid back feel of it, and just like the fun, more grassroots community feel that I think a lot of races are missing these days. And I think this one has that, and it's just really fun. Like you're gathered at Venice Beach in the morning, like everyone talking to each other, hanging out, and it's just a fun, really community vibe out there.
Do you notice in any of your the different events that you've been to how the energy can feel different? And if so, like what is that? How does that kind of hopefully help your race? You know, whether there's good energy or how does that like play in?
Yeah, as for me personally, it's super big. It's huge. I mean, I do this for the race, but I also do it just for the experience and for the weekend, the what you get out of just an entire race weekend. And some races have that energy, have that feel, like Herbalife Tri, like Wildflower, like I mentioned. I mean, people are there for the experience. Like they're going to remember that weekend for the rest of their lives, versus some races I go to and it doesn't have that feel. And it's like, you're in and out, you do a race, but it was just like, eh. And usually immediately I say to my husband, Wadi, like, yeah, I probably won't put that back on the schedule. It's just not, it's not memorable. It's not, you do it for the race and hitting goals on that day, and you train for these things, but then it's also about like your entire experience, for me at least, of that weekend. And certain races always hit that for me. And that's why I tend to return to the same ones over and over. Just I fall in love with a race, and I have to be back at that one.
Awesome. Well, if anyone was just tuning in recently, I'm just going to repeat it back. Heather just said that the Herbalife24 Tri-LA was one of her top 3 races she's been to. So you can quote. If you were looking at that, again, that is October 24th of this year, so get to it. Something that is really cool about our Instagram account is it's growing. We're coming up on the 10,000 follower mark, and as a way for us to show our gratitude and appreciation for the followers, and Heather, you're of course a large part of this family here and people following your journey. So we wanted to have some contests, some giveaways that we might be doing that might be coming up. So if you keep following our account, you'll get more information on that. But one of the first prizes that we're going to be giving away in this contest is a signed Heather Jackson helmet. That'll be in September. So I have a feeling that you've had something up your sleeve regarding this helmet. So can you give us a little insight of what the gift might be?
I mean, so I've been partnered with Rudy Project for, I don't even know now, 6-7 years, most of my career. And they've provided me with the most incredible sunglasses, helmets this whole time. And I've gotten a lot of comments about my race helmet that I've had this year matching my race kit. And we asked Rudy Project, and they just graciously came in to be a part of this giveaway. So I don't want to give it fully away, but it is a super, super cool helmet. And yeah, it's not just a standard helmet. It's pretty cool. So it's customized.
We have to tease people and entice people, but at the end of the day, we want to keep it for a big reveal. Again, that'll be a prize coming in September next month. And then anyone who is tuning in or wants to tune in, more details will be available on our Instagram account. And before we let you go, because surely you have to get off to some training again, I've got to get this in there that we have a Labor Day sale going on too on the 22-mile bike tour. So if you sign up anytime now, anyone who's watching, if you sign up now until September 9th, you will get 20% off. So if you were considering doing it and you feel motivated after hearing from Heather, today's the day. So Heather, I will let you go because I am sure you have to get to, like I said, some training, but I so appreciate your time on here today. And I know you can't see the comments, but you've gotten a ton of love on here. So thank you for sharing a little bit of your story and your success and how you just pivot through all this, the crazy times. And then as we look to see you in the Herbalife24 Tri-LA.
Yes, thank you so much. Awesome chatting. And thank you to everyone who tuned in and all the love. I'll go back and I'm not the most tech savvy, but I will go back and read the comments.
And then Heather, again, how do you push people to go follow you? Is it just on your personal Instagram? I know you have extensive content coming out on your YouTube channel. What do you prefer?
Yeah, usually I'm mostly on Instagram for sure. And then my husband and I run the full YouTube channel. So we have another YouTube coming out probably by the end of the week. So Waddy does it all. So he's constantly editing on top of everything else he does. But we should have a new one coming soon. So, but yeah, mainly Instagram. So
great. You guys are the dream team. So keep it up. Everyone channel your inner elite Heather Jackson this week. And thanks everyone for tuning in. Thank you, Heather. Bye.